Trends and changes can shape the approaches of marketing, especially in the telecommunication industry. Talking Point connects with Ms.Kaushala Amarasekara, Head of Marketing and Communications of Hutch, Sri Lanka. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Sabrina, and thank you for having me and featuring me. Thank you to the Global CEO magazine.
Can you describe your experience in the telecommunication industry and how it has shaped your approach to marketing?
Yes. So my industry experience spans over 12 years out of my 18 years in the total marketing sector. So I would say that being in the telecommunications industry for over 12 years has really sharpened my skills and enhanced my outlook in terms of marketing. And there are various factors that has contributed to this. The fact that the telecommunication industry is so agile and dynamic has kind of made us realize that we have to be far ahead of our game. The technology is evolving at a rapid pace, and we're lucky, in fact, that as a telecommunication provider, we are the enabler in most of these situations where we are actually making the whole digital marketing space happen, and of course the evolvement of 3G to 4G to 5G, so the internet services that we provide has made some big strides in marketing. So being in the telecommunication industry and working closely with these technological giants has sharpened my skills in the sense of we're very agile. We're very flexible in terms of adapting strategies and how we put it into practice. We obviously take a very customer-centric approach as well when it comes to marketing, and we are able to put these practices into use and put it into our marketing campaigns. So it's very exciting.
What do you see as the biggest challenges facing the telecommunication industry from a marketing perspective, and how do you plan to address them?
So the telecommunication industry in Sri Lanka is saturated a lot. So that brings about this challenge where it is quite difficult for us to differentiate ourselves as a brand. We have to always create new plans, exciting things, and keep the customers with us. That is a huge challenge, and it is quite interesting because that makes us possible to stand out from the rest, where we can actually bring out new things to the table. And of course, the technology is rapidly evolving. For the fact that technology is rapidly evolving, we have to always stay ahead of the game. For example, I would say that when it comes to AI, when it comes to AR technology, artificial intelligence. So we try to adapt certain practices that happens in the industry in our campaigns. Most recently, we generated a campaign using only AI, and when we presented that for this innovative product that we have created, I think we are able to give the consumers and the Sri Lankans these experiences, which kind of helps us stay ahead of the game.
How do you stay informed about industry trends and changes, and how do you incorporate this knowledge into your marketing strategies?
So that's a very interesting question, Sabrina. I must say, when we first got into this field of marketing, would you believe there was actually no channel such as digital marketing? So it's not from the books that we learned while we did our degrees or our master's programs that this knowledge actually comes from things that we do. And we have to constantly be updated in the new trends and what's happening. So the whole networking fraternity in marketing really helps us to stay ahead and stay informed. I'm also a part of the Sri Lanka Institute of Marketing. So there's a lot of networking that happens within the community. There are also certain forums that is conducted, like for creatives, for advertising and digital forums, where there are international speakers who come, and we're able to gain knowledge from them, as well as, say, if I'm at a panel discussion, or else if I'm, say, giving a talk to the youngsters, I myself do my own research. So that's quite very exciting because, and of course there's social media, especially even TikTok. If you get get your algorithms right, there's so much of learning that we could do from these platforms as well. So there's a lot of reading, there's a lot of YouTube, and the world has evolved, so we have access to channels. So learning is something which excites me personally a lot, and so that really helps us to stay ahead. And also the fact that we work with a lot of parties. Marketing is a field that we have a lot of connections with suppliers, and so when we meet them on a daily basis, we kind of gather the knowledge from them as well in terms of what is happening. So we are able to use these in our marketing campaigns and have an integrated approach. So it's not just the traditional media, but it's not only the digital, but there's so much of integration that happens when we launch a particular campaign.
Telecommunication is a rapidly evolving industry. How do you ensure that your marketing strategies remain agile and adaptable to changes in technology and consumer behavior?
Yes, I think telecommunications industry, personally for me, being in various other industries such as insurance and lubricants, and there was like a lot of other industries, I think telecommunications is the most dynamic industry. And it is fun because we are the enablers of most of these technologies. So I remember when I started off my career, we launched just basic 2G packages, and then we started talking about 3G. Then we moved on to 4G, and now it's 5G and beyond. So there are a lot of consumer preferences. Consumers are highly demanding, and they're very vocal about their needs as well. So we as a telecommunication companies have to act like thought leaders in terms of giving this knowledge, passing this knowledge on to the consumers as well. So we have to be constantly having different sessions and having thought leadership interviews and having, of course, various means of getting this knowledge across to the consumers as well. So that is one major thing in terms of the technology sector, telecommunications sector, and embracing technology. And in terms of adapting these changes, I think it is our duty to adapt to most of these changes, embrace them, and bring it out there, because that makes it more fun, and it also makes it very interactive as well as very exciting and interesting.
What metrics do you use to measure the effectiveness of your marketing campaigns, and how do you use these insights to optimize future initiatives?
So in terms of measuring our campaigns, there are various channels that we use in terms of reaching different segments of the customers. So these different channels will have different measurements in terms of how effective a particular campaign has been. If you use your certain it depends on the objective of the campaign as well, the objective that you set before you launch a particular campaign. And say when it comes to the digital channels or even the website, there's obviously we can monitor the traffic of the website and how the bounce rates are in terms of digital, how many leads, and in terms of the engagement scores, followers, the organic growth. So there are various measurement scales that we use if it is a product or a campaign that's related to getting consumers using the digital channel. Overall, if you're launching a new product, we are able to measure the activations, or rather how many customers have actually come into the network. So those are direct measurement schemes that are available. Other than that, there are brand metrics. It is highly important that we constantly measure the health of our brand by using research. That would be, we will be measuring our top of the mind awareness, or it would be the consideration to the brand and general health factors of the brand. You can also measure your effectiveness in terms of how you're performing at the retail level. Apart from those measurements, of course, as a marketing leader, I think the generic growth of the company, the sales contribution, the turnover, the profit, those are also metrics that we use in terms of measuring the campaigns. So these are constantly monitored And constantly we do have our discussions and the reviews that we can obviously make our campaigns better by using these metrics.
How do you approach targeting and segmentation in a diverse market like telecommunications, where consumer needs and preferences can vary widely?
Yes, actually, I get this question a lot. When you actually talk to your peers, they come and ask me, so who is your TG? I personally do not like answering because it's not just one particular consumer. The consumer has evolved so much, and it's very difficult for us to kind of explain this consumer in just, a few words. Because even when it comes to certain products, depending on the consumer's usage, behavior patterns, their demographics, their psychographics vary drastically. So when we talk about the segmentation, it is not only, we don't have like one definition as to this is our target audience, because we have certain products that will range from where the youth will be using it, or then there are child-friendly services, child-friendly internet services. Then of course we target the parents for that. There are SMEs, then we have certain solutions for enterprise business, and then their usage patterns are different. Some are more savvy in using social media apps, whereas some are more into the talk type. So being a telecommunication provider, we are also able to kind of analyze these behavioral patterns, and we take the different approach in terms of targeting and segmentation, because I think that's very exciting as well with these data. It's not just their where they live or where their geographic location is or their age, but there's a lot of deep understanding of the consumer, because I think that is what's needed in today's marketing context, that we personalize certain campaigns. And I think we're moving into an age where we will be actually not having mass campaigns, where we'll be talking on a very personalized basis. And tools like AI will actually help us in this, where we can actually personalize, and depending on the time of the day, depending on which task that you're involved in, we can talk to them accordingly.
The telecommunication industry is certainly a rapidly evolving industry. We were in conversation with Ms.Kaushala Amarasekara, the Head of Marketing and Communications of Hutch, Sri Lanka. Thank you so much for connecting.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure.